Hello and welcome to Two Blokes in a Cave, a vaguely philosophical podcast hosted by me, Carlson Sin, a serious chess player and graduate with a master's degree, and my good buddy Cameron, who is a champion swimmer and just all-round funny guy.
A non-serious, such a good thing. Yeah, I'm a champion and I have a degree. What do? You vaguely swam one time and you're kind of funny. Nice.
Cameron is very funny. I think that's a fair call.
That's my number one
and,
thing.
he is a swimming champion. Was?
Champion.
Is? He did some swimming. He was
Once a
pretty
champion, always a champion. That's what I always say.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna do today. We did the nausea experiment,
Yeah.
like the dream machine, a couple of weeks ago, and that was really interesting about the idea of essentially like, would you go into this machine willingly? And we spent about an hour crapping all over that idea and just thinking, why would anyone ever, for any reason, go into that machine?
Yeah.
And to my mind, there was basically no justification to get in.
No, the step that you have to take to get in seems too ridiculous. But once you're in it, it's effectively like heaven or something. I don't know. Like it's whatever you want it to be. A feedback loop of just pure ecstasy. But anyway, no, I wouldn't get in. It's nonsense.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Thanks for that catch up on where Cameron is.
I long for that.
Today, we're going to look at it from the other side, which I think is going to be very, very different and super interesting.
Yeah.
I hope you also think it's going to be interesting. But imagine now that we have awoken in the machine. We'll call the machine the Matrix. That's
It's
quite
the
a
Matrix.
popular,
It's the Matrix problem.
a popular movie.
Yeah.
And we are offered the chance to get out or to stay in. The parameters for this thought experiment will be as follows. There is no certainty
That's right.
of what life is like on the outside. The people you know on the inside exist, though their direct relation to you is not guaranteed, i.e. your wife may not be your wife in reality, but she does exist somewhere. And you are the same age as you are. You're going to wake up like a 90-year-old man and about to die or something. You are who you are. You're vaguely healthy and you're going to essentially...
And you're like a human. You're
human.
The same. You are
but
the
you
same.
don't know if the world is an absolute apocalyptic nightmare and you don't know what's going on. So I don't know if you want to add anything else about the inside the Matrix. In the Matrix, we'll say that, things are going pretty well. We'll use Cameron as an example. He's a pretty cool guy. Life is going well for him. So it's not as if he's one of those like loser Neo. Is it Nero or Neo?
Neo, yeah.
Nero. Neo in the Matrix.
He's a
where
psycho.
he's like, I haven't seen the Matrix, but I've been told reliably by the boys that he's not exactly killing it at life. So I think the decision to get out of the Matrix seems kind of silly, because I'm like, well, yeah, if your life sucks in the Matrix, as if you would stick around, obviously you would leave. Your life's not even good to start with, so whatever. That's stupid as.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not here to crap on the Matrix. I haven't seen it, but what would you do if you were offered the red pill to get out of the Matrix or the blue pill to stay in the Matrix? What would you do and why?
Well, I think you, in good conscience, you have to take the red pill. The red pill is the one that gets you out. I'm pretty sure the blue pill stays you in. You got to take it, because I guess we're on this journey of vaguely trying to find this truth outside the cave, and this is almost the perfect analogy without being an actual cave analogy of the cave.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
Just instead of flickers of the shadows of the fire, it's an actual completely simulated perfect example. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other parameter I was going to say, like inside the Matrix is now. Like it's this.
This current existence.
It's not like we're in like Rome.
You're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. It all
it's
is
current
fabricated.
society.
Okay. It's like, I think the Nausiac. I think that's how you pronounce it, by the way. I haven't got my notes in front of me, so I'm just going to go with it. Nausage, yeah. I felt was quite an easy answer.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to think long about it. This one, I actually do. It pains me quite a lot to think about it. And I'll start with the initial thought was, well, I have a wife and kids. I love my wife. I'm very happily married. I love my kids.
Yep.
The idea that they may not be my kids
Yeah.
on the other side is incredibly daunting and terrifying, and something that I can't even really comprehend
Yeah.
in my mind rationally.
You said it made you feel a bit sad. A little bit.
Extremely sad. Yeah, like trying to. Yeah, it's almost like it moves you to tears almost. Thinking about the possibility that your family, as you know it, doesn't exist. It's not real. So when confronted with that, my underlying essence as a person is I'm someone who wants to seek the truth, wants to live the truth, wants to be in the truth as much as I can be. I want to, be as closely aligned to the objective, true standard as I can possibly be. So to be told that your life is a lie or a simulation or a manifestation of your desires would be heartbreaking. So with that being said, it would not be a decision I could come to easily. And if it was someone coming to me in a moment and just saying, this is the situation, red pill, blue pill, you've got 30 seconds to choose, probably would take the blue pill if it was like a quick thing.
Yeah, that's right. How much time do you have? The time thing.
Yeah, because the time thing for me is huge. Because regardless, not to unpack a bunch of deep psychological issues that we all have, but I'm not very good at saying goodbye in general. I've got some issues there where I find it very difficult to say goodbye to friends, family, for various reasons. I would be pretty mortified to not be able to say goodbye to the life that you were living. Right? Like it's very difficult for me to do, but you also need the closure. Like you can accept that two things are true there. Like I don't want to say goodbye. Because there is something inside of me that would be like, you got to take the red pill. And we talked, it would be weeks ago now. We talked about like the Titanic.
Yes.
And it can't have been an easy decision to go like, hey, we're going to die.
Yeah.
We're going to sit here and freeze to death in our tuxedos and die, fairly scary death. Hopefully we freeze to death and die before we get ripped to pieces by sharks or something. Like that's not a good time. That's a scary time. The knowledge that your wife and kids may survive, but they will survive without you is scary. Like that's a terrifying kind of situation. And it is your duty to your wife and kids ultimately that would lead you to sacrifice yourself for that. So for me, there would be an underlying sense of duty to the truth. Like I am obviously the podcast papist here, so I'm a fan of the truth. I believe in that objective reality, in that sort of sphere. So thinking that there is an obligation for me to seek the truth and to be united to the best of my ability and live that way. But I recognize that in the moment, I'm not sure if it was a snap decision that I could make that decision.
Yes.
I would, I struggle with it now, even trying to think about it honestly. Like, how would you go if someone came in, the door, the cave, sorry, this is a cave, busted in the cave right now and gave me that opportunity.
Yeah.
My family's asleep, they're upstairs.
Who are you, man?
Do you know what I mean? Like it would be,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
Well, that's the other assumption. You got to
take
assume that
now.
Yeah, you got to assume that this guy is fully like telling the truth.
That is the assumption.
Yeah, he's 100%. He's not like some.
But you are giving
guy.
up a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen the movie, so don't. It's been a long time. I'm not going to see it. Okay, so don't bother. But I have, from what I can tell, is this Neo guy, like a single dude with no family. So like the decision seems like pretty easy.
He's having.
It would be
he's a
kind
bit
of
a loser.
interesting. Well, it'd be more philosophically stimulating, I imagine, if he had to give something up to obtain the truth. So like it seems like he kind of just it's an easy decision to just be like, yeah, of course I'll take the red pill. Oh wait, I'm super Jesus now. Like great, this is cool. Again, I don't know the plot, so this could be wrong. I'm Superman. I'm the best guy ever, but I was previously crap and I gave up nothing to get this power. Like it seems like a crappy hero journey. The movie sucks, from what I've been told. Like it sounds like a crap movie. Anyway, the point is, it would be an extremely difficult situation.
Yeah.
On the fly, I would like to think I would make the right decision always in every aspect of my life. If someone busted in my house at night, of course I'm going to get up and defend the family. I don't want to die. I don't want to get stabbed and beaten up, but that's something that I would do to save my family without thinking. I feel very comfortable in that fact. But the idea of leaving them entirely is very, very different and difficult to come to that conclusion. Because how could you? It's not just your family; it's your life. It's Cameron. Are we friends outside the Matrix?
Not really. Not in this scenario.
No,
I don't think
no.
so. Not in real
Are we
life.
friends right now? That's the. So I don't know if I think I would take the red pill, but it would be one of those things where I think it would be a really, really, excuse the pun, a difficult pill to swallow. Because if you have toddlers, like they're just everything. Like it's just the reason you would do anything.
I think it'd make you go insane. I don't think like it'd make anyone. If someone's just like, hey, your whole life's a lie and everything you actually care about is like a waste of time instantaneously, and like you're gonna have to make a decision right now, it's pretty mind shattering. I think it'd probably affect everyone. But yeah, I think Brendan was saying here, like, yeah, no one would really give up their family, but like in the movie, it's more tenable and easy to watch because he's a bit of a loser, and you can live vicariously through him because you're like, go be better, and he kind of like is a loser and doesn't give up that stuff. It's like easier to watch it and not feel super sad at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get Brendos in quickly because I think he touched on people he thinks wouldn't leave their families. Because my conclusion for myself is, I would ultimately choose to leave them, but only because there is the guarantee that they're not real.
Right.
As
so
painful
the
as
premise,
that would be, like, and I'm just I guess the long way of saying that would be it is not an easy decision, and I recognize and unlike the experiment in the experience machine, I don't think you're a coward for staying behind. I think, or did I think you're a coward for staying behind? No.
Which one?
No, I don't think you're a coward for staying behind. If
in the Matrix, if you're in it, you take the blue pill.
No, I think I kind of do. It's just a tough one. I think on the fly, I understand the hesitation maybe, but ultimately it's a cowardly move to stay behind if it's not real. If humanity exists outside the simulation and you're living in the simulation, and you are told that it's simulation, categorically, and you decide.
But I did already bring myself in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that might be the case. So, Brandos, come in, mate, and tell me what you quickly think of the movie, I suppose, and if you think in this scenario, don't worry about that. In this scenario, if you think the majority of people would take the red or blue pill.
That was a hilarious. You guys are gonna look back on this and laugh because I brought myself in when you.
Come on in,
when you told
Come
me
on
to.
in. But,
and then I sat there quietly like a good boy, just waiting for my input. That's all right. All right, so
Producer Brendos, carrying the show.
Great.
my
Love that.
take from the movie is that Neo is an outlier in the fact that, well, basically because he's an adult. So basically no one, once they reach a certain age, would be able to accept this alternate reality that is the reality, but of like a real world. But when you reach a certain age, you are so ingrained in your surroundings that you just can't accept it. And the only way Neo was possibly able to even consider it was that he was single, he was a loser, he didn't have a family, he didn't have a girlfriend.
He's a loser.
Let's just say he was down on his luck and things in his life weren't going the way that he saw it. And if things in your life are going well in any way, shape or form, and if you do love your family, couldn't be a wife, but even your parents, your siblings, all that kind of thing, if you're content with your life, how can you jump based off anything put in front of you that this is actually not the real world? I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'd be almost impossible. Actually, I don't recall Neo having anyone. He doesn't. They don't reference him having any parents or brothers or anything. They don't even like really cover that, and that's actually something I don't think anyone really even thinks about. They just go, "Yeah, this guy's cool. It's like Keanu Reeves having fun. Take the blue pill, sick." And now he's in like a dystopian reality fighting robots or whatever. Seems like a bit of fun, but he doesn't do anything. I think he goes on a date, doesn't he? And then the date is like
You've
actually
got the
just a
wrong
robot
guy,
or something.
mate. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. My
Yeah.
knowledge of Neo is extremely limited to
Yeah.
what you and Brendan have told me. So I don't know. I think I fully accept the idea that the older you get, the more difficult it would be. That makes sense. Totally get it. However, people of an older age can fundamentally change their outlook on the world and even start again
Yeah.
in distant lands because of external circumstances, wars, famine, whatever. People migrate and do things. And then their attitudes, values, and beliefs have to change as they immigrate to distant lands and foreign spaces that have, you know, different customs and attitudes. So I think the idea that it is impossible is probably, I think, an overreaction. However, I fully accept that it would be abnormal to see people willingly do it. I would say if courage is the first virtue, those people that choose to stay willingly when presented with the evidence of the falsehood of life, it would be a cowardly act to stay in the movie if you know there's like some sort of machine war or something. I don't know exactly the plot, but I think we talked a bit about like there's some sort of...
He doesn't know. I don't think anything. He just but
He doesn't know.
no.
But there is like a
there's like
big
a
human
war against the
machine.
AI, effectively. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. So that seems like it would be cowardly to remain in your fake existence when there's a war for the soul of humanity raging on, and you're like, actually, I'm pretty comfortable here. I'd rather just stay. So it's hard for me to comment, I guess, fully on the movie because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But our parameters did not define some kind of dystopian future. In fact, all it really said was, I don't. We said at the start, there's no guarantee that it's the same. It could be quite different. It could be similar. It could be whatever.
Well, yeah. If you gave him more information, which he doesn't, but like I would say the assumption would be, it's a different society, and if he said it's dystopian and it's like effectively like, after a nuclear war or something out there, then I think that might like affect your ability.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why they make these machines to get into. It's going to be better than actual reality, I assume. That'd be kind of a bit weird if you were exiting into something that's way better. Like, why is anyone in the machine? So I'm assuming that it's going to be slightly worse and harder. It's going to be way harder in real life if you take the blue pill, the red pill. Whereas the Matrix has to be easier. It has to be. Otherwise, I think that
there's probably some analogy about suffering being good for you.
Well, I think, we talked about this before. You're saying suffering is the way. Maybe it is better to suffer and like live a hard life in reality as opposed to nonsense.
I think it's inarguable that the road to success feels like crap, and the road to failure feels very good. I mean, I joke a lot about this, but Cameron was a very, very good swimmer. And if you could take us back to the swimming practice,
right?
Like, it's not fun getting up at 4:30 in the morning.
No, it's not very good.
In winter where it's cold, and then going down to the pool and jumping into the cold water and doing 2 hours of laps. That's not a fun thing to do. If you saw him without a shirt on, ladies, I'm telling you, you could see
back in the day.
see the lats, and it looks good, it feels good at the end, but the training to get to the end is pretty uncomfortable. Like, it's not a fun time.
Yeah, no one likes.
And I would just say, like, the fruit of any good is quite sour. The road to that is not fun. If you want to be a good chess player, it takes a lot of thoughtful and considered learning and practice and mental like anguish to get to be good. It's a again, we're talking my level, upper percentile,
Right.
being able to play games sort of in your head. It takes time. If you want to be an engineer or you want to get advanced learning in some area, it's not easy. It takes time and one of the reasons we admire people who are excellent at any field, at any given thing. We admire it massively because we know that to get there is difficult, and that's what is admirable. So I would say conversely, if you choose to stay because it's comfortable and easy, like that is a cowardly way of thinking.
It's the same thing as getting in the pleasure machine.
Gotta not get in the pleasure machine. I think, in my mind, I preference all this not to cast any serious judgment in like a mean-spirited way. Like, I fully understand. Like I said, it almost brought me to tears thinking about like having to say goodbye to your family and pick up somewhere else and do something else that's different and new. And I get that, but it is ultimately cowardly to not move through the real world. It's no good. Doing things in reality because they're easier is not helpful. You better off getting the reps in yourself.
Yeah. Depends, like, so what if he gave you more information was like the outside is absolute shit. Like, it's effectively like living in a desert. And there's like not that many people out there.
Well, there's at least the people you know. Wasn't that one of the parameters? Like, they're not, maybe you're not friends yet, but they're out there.
Yeah, well, so in this scenario, like, so I think we're saying like you pretty much all look like you are in here. So when you wake up, there would be, is that what you're saying? Like, there would be a kid that is your kid. He's just like,
We want to be your kid, I guess, is the... there's a kid that looks like this, but he might not be your kid, I suppose, is the... I guess the idea is it might be your kid,
right,
but it might not be.
right.
So you're taking a bit of a chance. Like,
Right.
Is my wife in the real world? Or is she just some other lovely lady with some other guy?
Interesting.
Can you handle that?
So
Probably not.
Because if it's,
But she also might be.
Yeah.
She might be your wife in the real world. Who
if he
knows?
gives you like more information, he says like I'll run through the steps in general. If you like Brendan said, if your entire life is a simulation game and everyone is fake, let's just say your whole thing's completely crap, no one's even real, they're all just a program, then I'm out of here 100%. And I'd probably just like be really, really sad, but I'd resign myself to the fact that like I just got like conned, like really deeply. But if everyone in the game is like a soul living in some machine and we're just like inhabiting this weird body, and let's say when I get out of the machine, I might not even look like this, and like my mum and my family might be someone else, but they're also experiencing the same reality. So when I get out, we all get out at the same time, there's no guarantee, by the way. I might get out and they're still in the machine, so I might never see them again. But if we all get out at the same time, we might all look different, be different, but that's still, I still interacted with you as an actual person, like a consciousness. Then, that being said, if they are exactly the same as this and they're all in the machine, and that is still like reality in a way, because I'm still interacting with other real consciousnesses in real experience. So I'm sort of living a life, even though the peripherals and like the tangibility of actually what is occurring physically is like
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
centered to my
if
brain.
there's a shared consciousness type situation, if you're all plugged into the same machine.
Yeah,
and
technically
the
it is a life.
interactions
We're just
are-
kind of in.
It's like
the
real
world.
adjacent
Mm.
in that situation. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, Brendan was saying like your whole life's a simulation game. That's like what I'm getting at. Like in all your experiences in the game,
How
is what
could
make
you-
you are as
how
a
could you
person. You're still
take-
that person. It's still a real experience
Yeah.
to you in your reality, in your mind. In that sense, I'm not sure. It's probably not super duper cowardice to stay in, because if you leave, you kind of like.
Well, what does cowardly to you mean? It's obviously not a good thing.
I don't know. It's usually, I guess, if you fiddle it down, it'd be
Like, what does it mean to you?
it'd be taking a road that you know is vaguely incorrect because it's easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
It's hard to justify that, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like
if-
a lot of moral dilemmas, if
Yeah.
you boil them down, are simple. Like it's probably, it sounds harsh, but that doesn't take away the truthfulness of the statement. Like, I'm not making a moral judgment on you as a person. If you chose to stay, that is, I believe, a cowardly act. But one act doesn't necessarily define your character.
I don't think it's cowardly. I think it's a value judgment. I'm valuing the relationship that I have with these like real people in this fake environment over like seeking to interact with true reality outside. Also knowing that it kind of could be shitbox.
Could be, might
Yeah.
not be. Could need you.
Out there.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well, how much information do I get? You can't go back in either. Once you're out, you're out. I
You're
think
out,
that
you're
has
out,
to be
yeah.
has to be the way. Because otherwise, you could just be like, yeah, sweet, let's go have a look. This is shit. Jump.
Yeah, straight back
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
No,
Because
you
in the
can't go
Matrix, I
back
guess
in.
he does go back in.
You just go
and
back
out,
in, yeah,
so,
okay. Well,
yeah.
you can't go back in.
No.
You're out.
You're out.
And I understand you're working pretty hard to make it sound a lot better in the Matrix. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're all
Yeah.
kind of souls interacting, but imagine on the outside, it's like, well, there is some conflict,
Right.
and there is like, hey, we actually need people to come out here and fight the good fight. Do you know what I mean?
I think if you didn't take it, you'd have to be wiped of the memory, I think, of the movie that you didn't take it. Because if you thought about it, I think it'd ruin your life. You'd just be
Because
thinking
it'd be
about like,
a
I should
cowardly
have just
thing.
been.
You'd
Yeah,
think,
you just
like,
be like,
oh
well,
man,
this is all
everyone needs
bullshit.
me out there.
Yeah, and no, this is just
Oh, they
everything
need
you
me.
did. You'd be like, this
Oh,
is
geez,
nonsense.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, they need me. I think you
Don't you go to work after that?
Aren't
You'd be
you
like, this
tying
is not
yourself
real.
into a bit of a knot though?
What do you mean?
I'm trying to press you a little bit here.
Yeah,
but aren't you
yeah.
tying something to a knot? You're kind of like, no, it's not a cowardly thing. It's a value judgment because I value feeling good and knowing that it's hard. I don't want to do it. I want to just be in here where it's nice and cozy.
It's only like relationships
that?
that are like maybe who I
Yeah.
am is what I'm valuing. I'm
Okay.
not valuing the coziness. Like I could still have a shitty life. If theoretically you could have like cancer in
You're
the
saying
Matrix.
as long as we were buddies, we can do it all.
That's what I'm valuing. I'm
Okay.
valuing I'm not valuing like the stuff.
Okay.
I'm only valuing the people. But if the people aren't real, then I'm skididdle.
Yeah.
Like
Is that
100%. Yeah. Skibbity skip. No, no.
Skippity doo.
Skip-
Okay. All right. Well, how about we make it slightly more interesting? Then?
Yeah.
I think we're getting to the crux of
Right.
the issue as I understand it, or as I see it. You do interact. We're all plugged into the same computer.
Yeah.
We all interact.
Yes.
And if we got taken out, we would still know each other. You still know
Okay.
people the same way. They would be the same. But your life may be crap. You may just get killed by a machine or something
Yeah.
in the war to save humanity or some such.
So we're all getting out. So when I get out,
we all get out. Like,
you're-
I'm getting out. You staying in. Like,
oh well,
what's
what's
your
your
value
You can't
judgment?
interact with me because I'm in.
well, exactly. What's your value judgment on? You
I
just
mean-
look around like producer Brendos is taken off, Carlton's taken off. You're like, where are my friends going?
Well, you
I'll make new friends in the simulation.
Yeah,
probably.
you make new friends, but you hold like effectively you're killing your old self. Your whole life,
Killing
you're
your old
killing the
A
whole
lot of,
thing.
I think a lot of,
It's like a metaphor.
a lot of metaphors about being better men involve killing off
The younger version of yourself.
yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of good that would do. A lot of just growing up and maturing. It's
Yeah.
like there's a certain point where you got to kind of kill the boy,
Right.
let the man kind of
Yeah.
come about because you haven't got time as a man for childish things.
Hmm.
You got to put it in the closet. I think it is
Yeah.
the mark of a man to be self-sacrificial
Hmm.
because there is a higher calling than your individual pleasure or experience and value judgment. Well, there
But-
should be.
So you're saying the higher calling is outside, but however, the higher calling could also be to raise your like kids, and that you're
Yeah.
you're leaving
The
these
fake
boys. You're
kids.
disappearing one day. The other
Yeah.
people wake up and they go, "What the hell's Carlton?" You know, they didn't know you picked the
He's
pill
gone.
and disappeared.
He's fighting the good
So,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a value that's like more important, a real fight as opposed to a simulated fight. But the people in the simulation are still going to age and die.
I mean, there is the idea
Yeah.
like you're in the simulation though. It's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah,
That's
true.
I guess that's the most important part of this. This is not like a, hey Cameron, let's go to country X in the world right now and fight because that's the right thing to do. That's different to make a
it's
judgment going.
different
Right.
scenario. Yeah,
But hey, like if this isn't real,
yeah,
then we can't stay here. Ultimately, if this is not real, it's not a place for humans.
yeah.
To
Okay,
live.
like fundamentally, I'm still going to take the red pill regardless. I just can kind of see
Just like it.
I'll just
pressing
eat
your
at me
buttons,
because I'm like, what is out there? That means this is all crap. I'm being conned. Effectively,
being
someone's
conned,
conning me
yeah.
for some reason. Why is that?
Um,
Why is that the case?
I understand like there's a bit of an element of playing devil's advocate here because
Yeah.
we are fairly similarly aligned
Right.
in that we don't want to stay in a place that's not real.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I get the idea. I'm trying to push you into some sort of corner where you like
I have to take the
acknowledge that stuff.
Regardless.
Not taking the pill is actually probably a little bit selfish and
Right.
cowardly. But again, it does depend, I suppose, on what's on the outside and to what your individual moral formation says, which is why I think it's, it would be important to for people to have a properly formed moral center. Otherwise, it doesn't make. Otherwise, we have these issues where we can't agree on a basic set of what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. Like, what, categorically, is this a right or wrong decision, or is it possible for morals to be in a grey area?
Right.
I'm not sure that there is a grey area of morality. Do you know what I mean? I think morals are black and white.
There's no areas of grey.
And you can apply them to grey areas, but the morality of X is black or white. For instance, an easy example is, say, just imagine a world where we're really good friends.
That'll never happen.
And like I get terminal cancer and it's extremely painful and I'm like agonizing over life and I'm like, hey, I need you just to push me into like a pool or something, and kill me. I need you just to take me out.
Come into my realm of the
Or
swimmer.
put a pillow over my head and end my suffering.
Yeah, right.
That's a morally grey area, right? Like
right.
I'm kind of mercy killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you are still killing someone. Like that's objectively like you're committing like a moral evil. Even though you might argue and say, hey, it's a pretty questionable situation, doesn't make the act of murder less bad.
Right.
Because you're killing someone who's sick and sore. It's still wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's not a jury on earth that's going to go, well, they were mates probably. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah, well,
no
most
one
of the people
would
you kill,
accept
or
that.
people do
They would-
kill.
yeah,
like
they do.
Friends or something. So
It's
yeah.
not, but no one's going to go, oh, he probably told you to kill him. They'd be like,
Yeah.
why'd you murder your friend for?
Yeah.
Because they inherently acknowledge there is that's not good. But we would all recognize like that's a tough situation to be in because you see your friend, they're suffering. It's kind of a thinly veiled euthanasia type argument. Should I assist them in dying?
Right.
Which is a very, very polite way of saying I'm going to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then we can also zoom out on the macro and go, that's still murder. You're still killing someone. That's wrong. No one's arguing that murder is good.
With specifically moral grey and black stuff, I used to have a good example for this. I think like most stuff isn't super duper black and white, like it is and it isn't. But I'll come back to that. Brendan was going to say something. No.
He's coming in with some matrix theory. Maybe
Okay.
we're getting off into the weeds a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something about this escaping that I had a really strong point. But Brennan, come on in and tell us about the matrix theory, mate.
Sorry, guys, I didn't want to take you out
No, that's all right.
of the trail. But I thought of a good reference to the Matrix kind of simulation theory. And it's a little bit touching on what I was talking about. Of if you're at a certain age, you just simply cannot accept. So it's referencing Plato's cave, where the cave has been cracked. The cave is cracked and there is a reality outside the cave, but the light is just simply too blinding for you to accept. So even is there some kind of possibility in this kind of thought where you understand that there is a reality, the real world outside of this one, and it is all simulation, it is all fake, and you make that jump into that real world, and it is too much for you to understand, for you to accept. So it's just the light of the cave, going through the cave is too blinding that you just simply cannot accept it as a human being.
What do you think?
I think,
Well, I think that's definitely a possibility. Like that could happen, 100%, and that's like a big full risk. I feel like you could go to the other side, and it could be too much of realness. You might end up like being so sad and like going insane and like jumping off a cliff. I don't know. And I think there is room for that. There has to be some form of something to set like I guess idea that that's not going to happen because you could even scenario right when Brendan said that it reminded me of like the thought of this in general where let's just say this is a full simulation. It's fully simulated. Like actual reality is so far different from this. This is like either better or a more less chaotic version. Let's say we all leave the Matrix and in the new reality, all physics is different. I've got a different body. I'm effectively like an alien. I'd have like 3 eyes. I'm completely could not even able to like function. You might have a like mental breakdown and just like go insane. I don't know if you can deal with a certain amount of change when it comes to like your whole worldview is like completely twisted. Sorry, you can make a comment.
That's just it's a wild imagination you have. Like it is very impressive. I suppose. I guess it is conceivable to me to envision a world wherein we can't make sense of it initially, but that's not an eventuality. There's no guarantee that you can't adjust. I would say, as something of a noticer of things that happen around the world, like I would say we have moved in very, very, in a very, very short space of time, we have changed a lot of societal norms about pretty basic human understanding of reality in a very short space of time.
Yeah, 100%.
And people have accepted that, which is very wild to me, very quickly. And that's I think, I couldn't think off the top of my head of a more radically different, situation that people couldn't adapt to. I think one of the, what separates man from beast is the unparalleled ability to adapt to anything and everything. Like there are human beings everywhere, in every biome, in every location across the globe. Like we could live in Antarctica and just ship a bunch of food in, probably work out how to like greenhouse some of that, with UV lights and stuff. Like we could do it. I don't know why you would want to, but you could. Like, we can live anywhere.
People live there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like research station, but like we could set up a colony there, and people could move there and live there and have some sort of life there. But like, you won't find other animals that vary. Their natural habitats limit them to certain biomes and epochs and whatnot. And the only reason certain animals do see a much more widespread scope is because they are directly linked to humans, either as food animals or some sort of. They all have a direct use specifically by humans. They've been brought by humans to do a thing for humans, and without humans, they would also die and not survive in the current sort of meta, as it were. So adaptability, I think humans can adapt to things. I think Plato's point, he's in the cave, at least my reading is, he's a little bit of an elitist in the sense that the average Joe probably couldn't come around to the truth is so blinding. It's so, you can't kind of shield your eyes. But he certainly can make it out.
Right.
It's his like thing is like, yeah, I can get out and see the truth.
That's what he thinks.
That's what he thinks.
I think, I know what you mean with I think humans are amazingly adaptable. I think you'd have to conceive a world in which it is adaptable. I think, what Brendan's saying.
Because why wouldn't you be able to adapt as a 3-eyed alien? Like, what's wrong with it? Like, you
Brendan
just takes like 4 minutes, like, oh, I've got tentacles for arms. Okay.
Yeah. The only reason why it would be like too blinding in my mind is because you've been conditioned to live in this world incorrectly. Because I assume in the other world, people lived well enough that they created the Matrix anyway. So they have to be like productive. They can't sort of be blinded by an incomprehensible truth. Something's going on.
Yeah, a lot of assumptions in the Matrix. I think the main one for me, again, just having spoken to you guys, is that there is some sort of battle for the kind of the soul of humanity to be super dramatic. Like,
Right.
we've got to get.
It's a lot of religious undertones actually in the movie. It's a lot of philosophy and stuff too.
Fair enough. Like, good stuff, I guess.
I think
just
effectively
does seem-
he's like a Jesus character or something like that.
You
but
said
yeah.
that to me, like he's
Yeah.
the savior. I'm like,
Yeah,
of course
yeah.
he is. Yeah. I think I've seen the memes with the bullets, and he's just like, I'm gonna stop him.
Yeah, that's right.
All right,
Classic scene.
pack it in.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do to him now? He's too good.
Yeah.
Again, like in Neo's case, I don't think there's a strong argument that it wouldn't be a cowardly option to stay and live your mundane life, right? So you're making a moral judgment of this specific act. And then if you're doing that and you take Neo out and put yourself in,
Yeah.
and then you apply the same criteria, like this isn't real and there is a need for you to be out. Part of the reason the assumption that this person is coming to you is not because it's just like, hey, kids, you want some candy? Like, kind of need people. But we can't just yank you out because maybe
That's right, yeah.
you need to be kind of mentally prepared for the
Some
trip
candy? Jokes, there was a pill. Now you're out.
out. Now you're going to go party with the boys. That would be some of the assumptions I would have.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're fairly
It's pretty
reasonable
much about
assumptions.
what it is, yeah.
Yeah. So with that being my assumption on this movie I haven't seen, I would think that it would be difficult to choose to stay because it's definitely easier. It's definitely more comfortable.
Yeah, I think the main assumption is the Matrix is better than the reality when it comes
That's
to
totally fine.
easiness
Like,
and like
easiness is
comfortability.
not a good metric to live life.
Yeah.
Happiness is a bad metric for dating a girl. Like if you you know what I mean, like it's an experience that happens. You can't be on a high all the time.
Yeah.
Your equilibrium has to be centered somewhere.
Well, maybe not the happiness, but it's also maybe productability and opportunity in the Matrix is higher because it's like some sort of dynamic world and you can do stuff. But in the outside, it's like a dystopian crap. You can't just like paint some paintings in the outside world. There's not enough like good stuff going on. Don't even think there's enough like paint. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know about any of that.
Yeah.
I think the essence of the question is your life as you know it is not real.
Yeah.
There is a real life that exists on the outside. You're going to have to sacrifice a significant part of who you were, but there is the opportunity to become who you should be. And if you look at that opportunity, you go, well, I've got a really cool fake job
Yes.
in this fake world. And in this fake world, I'm really cool. Like,
You won't be
shit,
super cool in
that's a
this new
tough,
world,
like,
yeah.
that's a tough for me
Ego
to
game.
take you seriously.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not real.
Yeah.
It would be the best analogy I could think of is I played some competitive sports growing up and I very much enjoyed that. And there are people that I know, very good people, that didn't play competitive sports growing up.
Yeah.
And when we play social sports now, because I'm getting old, and they try like way too hard to, for social
Yes,
sports.
I've seen this. This
Yes.
is very common.
Okay.
Why
And
some of these social sports are a little annoying.
Yes, because there's I don't know exactly what my point, but like you haven't experienced the kind, like this is not the time for this.
Yes.
You can't, you being like, I'm being really good. Like, mate, we're playing with, it's a mixed team, like of touch football. You're trying to like tackle people. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
just take foot off the brake a little bit, and kind of recognize that being a hero in a, trying really hard in like a mixed touch football game is not the time and place for that kind of bravado. If you want to do that, I admire that. Just go play with the boys and play tackle football with the men, right? And I think there is some parallel to staying in the Matrix is social sports, but trying to pretend that you're playing like competitive sports.
Right.
And then just if you
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. You should actually play competitive sports. It's hard.
Yeah.
Competitive sports, it's hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of like mental energy, physical energy. You are hurt all the time.
Yes.
And you have to play through that pain. But it's ultimately for the good of you and the people and like your team. You need them. So I suppose for me, there's no amount of, when you have a dream and you in the dream you're like a millionaire and you're just living the best life and you're running around doing whatever you want, and you wake up and you're like,
Dream was so good.
for like a minute, and then you're like, I've got to crack on with life.
But you wouldn't stay in the
I don't
dream.
want to stay in fake dreams. Like, it's nice. Like, it's a fun thing to imagine. Like, what would I do if I won the lotto? Like, go on a holiday, I guess, and have a slightly bigger house and invest the rest. Like, it's very boring, ultimately. Right. Like, I would still be doing this if I won the lotto, because I like hanging out with the boys. Do you know what I mean? I would have fewer monetary
worries,
considerations.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it wouldn't do anything for me seriously, because the essence of money is not having money, it's the ability to do what you want to do, and I can do that now. So I suppose my thinking is nothing you do in the simulation can matter. By definition, it's not real. Me teaching my fake son in a simulation to catch, whilst in real life, is an incredibly cool, profound moment as a dad. Like, it's not real. So how can you say like, oh, he needs you? He's not real. Yeah. He's not in here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think
it's
you
not
can't.
a thing.
You couldn't, like, if you have the memory of the whole fact that this is all fake, you couldn't really continue on. I think it's probably like not really. You just couldn't do anything. You'd be like, this is all bullcrap. So I know what you're saying with that team sports thing. I like that analogy just because it's kind of funny, and I've seen that before. The amount of people who like, and also so many injuries in these social sports because they're not like, no one stretches, no one's actually doing anything. And they go in there and they go so hard. I'm like, you don't know your limits, and everyone just pulls a hammy or some shit. Or kicks someone in the leg and like really hurts someone, and they're just flimsy and uncoordinated. It's more dangerous than real sports because everyone doesn't know what they're doing.
I've played like a high division like football, like Division 1, which is a much more enjoyable time. Like, it's fast, you get hit hard and stuff, but I feel like when I've played a couple
people are doing
like Div 3 matches,
stuff.
There's a lot more like dirty punches and just stuff where I'm like, why you get like, you're just angry dudes like wanting to,
you don't want the people who are like, this is my time, the one day of the week when I can let all my stuff out. I'm like, this guy's not a very good player, but he seems a little like he's going to punch me or something.
Yeah,
like,
100%, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So I fully get what you're saying. I think obviously that was a decent analogy.
No, I think it's good.
But that's my take. Is essentially like, you just can't do it. Like, ultimately, twisting your arm, gun to your head, you just can't do it. So this is
talking about AFL. Yeah,
I played AFL.
Yeah, I played a little bit, but not really. But I played a bit of rugby.
And that I played a couple of years ago with a buddy who's like, come and play like Div 3. It's really fun. You don't need to do anything. You'll probably be fine. And I haven't played footy in a while.
Dude, everyone gets injured.
I did get injured.
Yeah, there you go.
But hey, I tore my meniscus. So it's crazy.
That's
but,
such
like, first game had a great time. But
yeah,
and then the second game, like, just randomly, I'm like, why? These guys are very aggressive and they're not good at football. There's a lot of off contact tackling, and like in AFL, if you're American, it's a weird sport. I don't recommend it really.
It's very messy. You got to be very fit.
Definitely just stick with NFL.
But there's those comments where it's like, please fill in this week. That is the worst. That is the first thing we like. I'm in the hospital like next week, 100%. The amount of people I know who are like, dude, Jono's out this week. You haven't played for like 5 years. You want to come in? And you go in there and someone just gets like kneed in the back or something. Because like, you're not in it. You're not
if you are training, you're kind of like combat ready. It sounds so dumb, but I think if you're if
you know
if
your
you're
limits
match
and
fit,
you've got like a
you're
plan.
match fit. Yeah.
Otherwise,
your
you're like,
body's
I
ready
could run.
And hard. Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say, well, here's a scenario. What happens if you can go into out of the matrix, but then you can go back in? There's a scenario where you can go back in.
That's a great
what
point.
happens then?
But why go back in?
Well, I'm just thinking, I was running through my head when you were talking. I don't think you could. Because when you go back in, you'd just be like, you'd be just an absolute loose unit with no reins, because everything's
Nothing is real now, Billy.
Well, in the Matrix, if you kill someone in the Matrix, you kill them in real life. Like they die in the machine. So you can't be doing that. But apart from that, you just go around doing extremely risky behavior. Like it wouldn't matter because like, all my money on red. I didn't lose. out of the Matrix, come back again. All the money on green, like black. Like
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I was thinking you were going to say like you go back in to see your family or something.
Oh, sorry.
Something
Yeah.
that means
Go straight to the casino.
casino.
It's just like playing like solitaire on the computer. This is all I'm doing it for, going into the Matrix. Like, don't even worry about talking to real people. No.
You just took that in like.
That's a
some
terrible analogy. Those who know me, it's going to be really funny,
Albert,
actually.
it's
That's
hilarious. Like, so I'd go back in to see your mum that you love. No, stuff my mum. I'm going to the casino.
Yeah, the other week we had a new casino open up
I'm
in
going
Brisbane, by
risque.
the way. I went a few times.
Like,
It's fun.
come on,
Yeah.
mate. You're out of control. You're off the chains.
No, okay. You go in and see your family.
If that's
I
the
forgot
reason you
about
go
that.
back in, as your friend, I'm going to just basically make sure you can't go back in and just do risky casino trips. Like, come on, mate.
No, but see, even
control.
interacting with your family, you'd go in and you'd be doing it, but the whole time you'd just be like, by the way, this is like crap. Do you want to like both leave? Because this is,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, what do you mean? And the whole thing would be
Change
ruining
their
it.
world.
It's ruining it. Only works if you think this is 100% real.
Yeah.
The scenario.
Look, I suppose so. I think ultimately, like your life exists to be closer to the truth.
Yeah.
That is the point of living is to live. If you're a simulation, you can't do that effectively, even if you're tricked into thinking you can. And this gets into some, I think it's metaphysics and things of that nature, where it's like, what is, you know, like, what is this? And I think there is some element to that. I don't know if it's even really worth unpacking the sort of metaphysics or the ontology of being in the simulation, because ultimately it just isn't real, and the ability to
Yeah.
trick somebody is not. I'm trying to say that just because I can convince you that this table is plastic crap and not some really nice wood that I'm working on, it doesn't mean that it is. It doesn't change the essence.
Yeah.
Doesn't make anything different besides you being ignorant of the fact that it's a table made of beautiful mahogany.
Oh, it's lovely.
It
Yeah,
is a
it's,
nice
and
taste.
it's probably better in real life than it is in the camera. Just a side note.
It's
Yeah,
handcrafted.
but yes. I mean, there is a scenario I was going to go down a track and I kind of stopped, and I'm just going to mention it real quick. But like, if the Matrix is like a pretty similar analogy to the cave, it's just effectively it is. Like, the Matrix is a cave and you're in it and you can't really escape. It's like a reflection of real reality, but it's not. Then you could kind of make the argument that like everything is like a cave. Do you know what I mean? Like, you kind of can't get out of it anyway. You're all, even your own personal experience is a cave that you can't really escape from. So like, what is the difference if there is like the cave itself is fake, but the people are real. You're still in the cave with your friends having fun. Outside the cave, there could be nothing, but you're in the sun, blinding light, as Brennan says.
Well, the sun is.
It's just what's important. It's just I don't know, because you're always going to be in some form of like bias, subjective, stereotypical cave.
This is
even in
some
the outside
postmodernist
place.
rubbish that you're talking about. But yeah, of course, our experiences are slightly different.
Yeah.
And we're always going to have different opinions and thoughts. I think that's kind of the beauty of being, is that we're not all the same boring robots, but we can all move closer towards the truth. And we should, I think, if there's anything to take out of the Matrix, it would be you should take the hard road because it's good for you.
Because knowledge
In the end.
of something real.
Do you know
is
what I mean?
Good.
Like, I don't know how the Matrix ends. I think there's
Doesn't it really end?
3
I think
movies,
there's
I
like
don't know.
bloody 4 of them now. The
There's
last one was
4
a
of
bit
them.
terrible. Yeah.
Jeepers, okay. I thought there was 3.
There's 3. There's a Matrix
Okay,
trilogy,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then they brought a new one
At the
out.
end of the trilogy, I imagine there's some victory over the machines of some kind.
Yes.
I really don't have any idea.
I mean, spoiler alert, I suppose.
Nah, the movie came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
haven't seen it,
I'm pretty
get
sure
over
he
yourself. Come on.
he
It defeats him. I'm guessing. Like, he goes.
doesn't
back, he's
really.
like
He kind of
space
just makes
Superman,
a.
I
He
guess.
kind
I
of.
don't
They both. So the AI and the robots and the Matrix are intertwined, and there's like a program in the Matrix that's evil. It's a bad program.
know.
It's
Okay.
called the Agent Smith guy, and I think he is also infiltrating real life and the robots also don't like him. So Neo kind of kills him, program, and the robots go, okay, humans, we won't kill you anymore, and they like kind of live harmoniously.
That sounds like an awful. Like, what?
Is that right, Brendan?
Weakest
I
ending
haven't
I've
seen
ever-
this for
that's
like a long
terrible.
time.
That is
So-
awful. I'm not wasting my life watching that crap. Good lord.
Mary is the so Mr. Smith is a virus on a computer program.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
if you think of the Matrix like a computer program, Mr. Smith is a virus that takes it over. So then the machines lose power, control over the Matrix, and Agent Smith gains it. But Neo wins out in the end. Huzzah!
But he doesn't beat the robots. Like, they still exist, eh? They just stop attacking the humans.
Yes.
So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that really sounds kind of crap, actually. Like, no, I was
That's
thinking about
terrible. I mean, I'm not here to like
it's a lot better
change
than I feel like
anyone's
we're both
mind
describing.
about the movie, but it doesn't sound.
That is
very
how it
good.
is. It's like he defeats a virus, effectively.
Okay, look, yeah, I guess
Mind virus.
go toward the truth.
Yeah.
The road to excellence, the road to success, the road to knowing oneself. Like even like discovering yourself is a painful experience.
Indeed.
Unpacking yourself, trying to find your own blind spots, weaknesses.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like, it's not good.
Yeah.
If you want to, get a six pack, that's a crappy process. It's not a
Yeah.
fun time. Like doing crunches and
Especially if it's a simulation. Just
twists. Yeah. Like it's not fun.
yeah.
Any kind of improvement involves struggle.
Yeah.
We should embrace the struggle, I guess.
I think we're all taking the pill. You got to get out. You got to like at least experience it.
I want to know, like, if anyone has a better argument for the blue pill, please put a comment in, because we're both obviously fairly similarly yoked, have a lot of similar opinions about the general vibe of life. We have some disagreements.
Yeah, everyone's got like
On stuff, but we have a general sense of like, hey, we kind of see the world pretty much the same, and we're going in this direction, I suppose. If you don't, because it is almost, it's almost just hard for me to imagine staying. Like, I really can't. I
Yeah.
tried, and maybe like pretty harshly tried, but like I tried to be like, yeah, it would be really hard. Like, it'd be super difficult to say goodbye to my family. But the fact that they're not real,
Well,
like, it just keeps coming back to me. Like, it would suck. But
Yeah.
if someone, like, they're not real, Carlton. Like, I understand you
Yeah.
like them, but it's just a dream you're having.
Yeah.
And it's a great dream. But you got to wake up.
Yeah, dreams are good, but
Do you
they
know
have
what I
to end. I mean,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. It's really, really good to think about this in general, just as that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is a learning thing, looking into your own
Yeah.
mind. In a situation, what do I think? What do I value? People over this, experiences, what do I find exactly real? This is kind of like a simple conversation about the Matrix is what it's doing. You
It's
told me
quite
when you
deep.
thought about this, weren't you like doing the dishes? And tell me if this is wrong, but I felt like it was like looking out the window like, look, my kids were just fake. And you were like, nah, that's too deep. And like, I remember thinking, you were like, I'm so sad all of a sudden. And you're like, it's a stupid mind experiment.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, again, if you're honest about it, it can
Yeah.
take you, like, it takes you to some crazy places where you can just be sad. I mean, I don't want anyone to be sad,
Yeah.
but if you think about the thought experiment properly,
Yeah.
it will invoke some pretty heavy emotions.
Yeah, you got to give something up to take something else. Yeah, sure.
It's pretty wild.
Give up
So,
everything.
don't take the blue pill. Is my advice.
Yeah.
Is my
I like blue though. If I had a general choice, I would have switched the colours for fun, but
Okay,
red's
sounds good.
more meaningful, I suppose. I don't know.
It's a powerful color. I don't know what you're trying to make a point, but
It's just a stupid point.
yeah, red, blue, not too bad.
Yeah.
I think the Matrix is a pretty. I think it's a pretty basic analogy of literally Plato's cave.
Yeah, I
Seems
think
like.
so.
Do you want to get out of the cave? Like, someone just basically knocks on the door of the cave, like, you boys want to be unshackled and come with me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so scary out there. Just, it is. It is scary.
Yeah.
Like, learning new things can be scary. What can I tell you? Like, it's a heck of a ride.
Yeah.
Philosophy is like, I mean, look, man, philosophy is a wild ride. Like, learning, reading,
Right.
understanding some ideas from some people in the past, as profound as they may be, can be quite scary. Like, holy cow. Like,
Oh, it's good. It's a sit there with a like drink and a, like, I mean, I don't do that, but like it's that type of thing. Really, just contemplating your own self, and
the
it's
reason,
like kind of
yeah. Well, the
fun.
reason I like a good cigar and cup of tea, it is such a contemplative
Yeah,
action,
yeah,
and it's usually very social.
yeah, yeah.
It's very easy to have a cup of tea and a cigar and
Yeah.
talk by fire about these. It's
Just delve into the deep darkness of what you value and believe. Yeah,
100%.
almost.
Unpack yourself, unpack your soul, like what means what to you, and how do you judge X,
Yeah,
and how do you come out of that?
come out.
Let us know in the comments.
Come out of the cave. Yeah,
Where
let's know in the
where
comments.
do you
Thanks.
guys come up?
I'd love to
but
know
yeah.
this one, even if you just like say this was I hate
Yeah.
the Matrix, get stuffed. I'm happy with that comment too.
Just
all the
red pill,
comments,
blue
please.
pill. We want to know. We want to know what pill you would take, and if you are interested, please.
You're going to say that now,
write a
people are just
comment.
going to put pill comments everywhere. I take all the pills. Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tell us what it is. Give us an idea, and we'll feature you in an answer. We'll kind of
Yeah, we'll get
rebut potentially or agree with, because I think we're both pretty open-minded
Yeah.
people. Like, I have very strong convictions on what I believe in, but I'm also very open to changing, and you can attest this. Like, my opinions on many things like change over time as new information comes in. We just
Yeah,
did
it's true. Pretty good at
a
it.
podcast about, truth, objective and subjective truth, and like how things change over time and how you gain and change as as you're more enlightened. So I think
Of course.
we're definitely keen. If you disagree with us, let us know. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to
Yeah.
be challenged in that way. And if you enjoy what we're doing, please like and subscribe.
Yeah. Once
This
again,
is,
trying to get out of the cave.
2 Blokes in the Cave. We're the Blokes. This is the cave. We're trying to get out. Until next time. See you later.
See ya.